welcome. And this is the last one. And after that, it's got great food and wine and free bars right next door. So please sit down, and we're going to talk about something fun. It's the last one of today, okay? So it's an industrial show. We're going to talk about something that's very cool that we actually use ourselves at Amazon Fulfillment Center and save us millions. And we've been using this for about 4 years now. And this is something you can see actually in that center, in the big machine. It's on the screen. And this is something that enables you to do predictive maintenance. So, and then we use that to go over to talk about something generative AI. And then we want to talk to you about that and something interesting. Okay? This is, if we're all in the industrial space, this is challenges we all see, right? And you have data management, security, scale. How do I scale if I finally get something working? And how do I make real-time decisions in terms of my machines, my worker schedule, my inventory? What do I do? So this is a sort of a model factory. And you can see that in a mirror kind of in our settings at the, like right next here. Right, in the manufacturing setting, you will see that we have general areas that we want to focus on. We have smart manufacturing, we have smart product, we have supply chain, and we have the engineering and design, right? So in this area, so if you see where I circle it with a blue circle there, that's where we think, based on our talking to our customer, that's where we think AI or machine learning will actually can contribute some real value in the manufacturing setting. So we've been looking at that, working with the customers, and that's what we have been seeing. So I just want to circle that, which is the two areas that with the low-hanging fruit. One is predictive maintenance. One is using vision to do quality inspections. So you can see in the background, that's our typical fulfillment centers. So for AI use case for customers, I'm just going to talk about something about predictive maintenance and also about quality inspections. If you, in the industrial space, if you do walking around and asking people or looking at studies and surveys, and you will see that if you do predictive maintenance right, that's why it's a low-hanging fruit. It can potentially reduce maintenance costs about 18 to 25%. That's actually a significant savings if you think about it, because a lot of our factories, including power plants and manufacturing, they're built in the 50s, 80s, and 90s, right? So they're built before digital age. So if you do predictive maintenance, that's what we call, there's a hidden factory in there. If you do predictive maintenance, you can actually potentially get more out of what you've got without more investment. So that's why predictive maintenance is a low-hanging fruit for your work. You can also increase your output, your factory's current output to anywhere from 5 to 15%. So it's very significant. This is the ARC cost. Like, this is not what I said. This is ARC cost. It says, on average, what will cost to different type of industry on an average hour. You see, like for CPG, like if you do bottling, it could be 15,000. That's a conservative estimate. If you have pharmaceutical, it could be by batch, $500,000, because there's a waste. If there's something happened to your machine, to your process, you actually have to throw things away. So that's a lot of waste. And then for oil and gas, it costs even more. It's $20 million per incident. So it's a very significant cost. It's not a small thing. That's why we're tackling that. See, what a lot of people, we've been tackling that actually for a decade. We could not do it very well because it's complicated. Now, at AWS, we try to tackle this. If you think about it, it's as complicated as predictive maintenance goes. It's 3 simple steps on top. You collect the data, you detect anomaly, and you do something about it. You generate a work order, you do something with it, right? So to help our customer, we decided to group our solutions or answers to help customer to get started. We have a buy option, we have a build option, we have a customize option. Depends where you are in this maturity. Depends how ready you are, your organization, what kind of budget, and how where your data structure is, right? Some people are not ready at all. They're still on build binders and spreadsheets. Some people are quite advanced, and they've already been implementing slowly but surely with all kinds of sensors in all kinds of machines. Robot arms, they start doing that. So it depends where you are. We believe that we should be able to help regardless where you are. So if you just on binders and spreadsheets, you still have those machines, right? You can see it there. So we have a buy option, which is what we call, that's what we use actually in our fulfillment center. And I'm holding in my hand. It's something like this, simple like this. This it's a wireless sensor. It's entirely designed and manufactured by AWS. Right, it's called Amazon Monitron. We have been using this for 4 years now in all our fulfillment centers. This is what we use to monitor our fulfillment centers. It saves us millions. It cut down our failure rate 70% in our fulfillment centers. So that's why it's a very interesting thing. That's our buy option. You can actually literally right now pull out your phone and you can just go to your Amazon Prime and you can order this. It's $115 for this sensor. So you can just try it right away. So this is our approach. We want to do this. This is the buy option. I'll talk to you a little bit more about this. In this, you can't read it, but that's our CEO, Andy Jassy. He made this viral post on LinkedIn about this particular session. You can see that Monitron is right there. So he visited a fulfillment center around Christmas time. And then the maintenance engineer grabbed him and said, Mr. Jassy, we just want to tell you how much we like this. We love this Monitron thing. So he was so happy he made a post. So we are very proud because he made this post, and this is one of the top 3 posts on his LinkedIn page. This very quickly on this. This is the type of equipment this kind of sensor is very good at, which is about rotational equipment. We're talking about motors, gearboxes, pumps, and things like that. Anything rotate. And this regardless which type of manufacturing, you see this across all these sectors, right? So even in these commercial buildings, you walk in, there's a back engine room somewhere, HVAC room, you will see this. So pretty much everybody can use it. However, while everybody has this type of machinery, 80% of them are not monitored today. The reason being that is monitoring is expensive. These things typically are category 2, category 3 machinery. They're foundational to your operation, meaning that they might fail 2, 3 times, 4 times a year. So they don't really fail that often, but if they fail, your whole operation is down for hours or days or weeks sometimes. Depends on availability of these things, right? So they're foundational, but most of them are not monitored. That's why we're talking about the solutions. If you imagine, like you see the background, this is our fulfillment center. This is our warehouse. It's an Amazon warehouse. This is where you got all your deliveries, your socks, your chairs, your papers. So we have, it's like 5 to 10 football field big, basically like this, right? So this is an example of what this little mighty sensor is, a small but mighty. This little sensor, what it can do. In 9 months, okay, in 9 months period of time, for about 33 of this kind of a size operation, we were able to deploy 25,000 of this. 700 gateways, right? I cover about 9,000 assets just in this kind of scale. Because at Amazon, it's never, if we do something, it's not about 50 machines. It's always about 500,000 machines, right? So with this particular little sensor, we were able to get that kind of results. Right? We were able to increase frequency from every 4 to 12 weeks to hourly. Because we used to have people do spot checks. So it's 4 to 12 weeks, somebody may do a spot check on these machines. With this little $100 sensor, hourly, you start looking at, so you have a really good sense of every piece of equipment in our fulfillment center. The reason you can get your whatever you're ordering from Amazon, and you on time within a day, this could be one of the reasons, right? We were able to cut down our failure rate of all these equipment about 70% compared to data sets. We can track operation changes, and we were able to detect 4,800 potential in this little period, and we saved $20 million for us. That's the kind of a result for this. If you do it right, this is the type of saving you will be able to see. So I'll show you some pictures. You actually can see it right there in the center in that e-bike shop. We have that on the screen, and you can see it's on the rotational equipment. You just stick it on. So how do we help the customer if a customer is interested in this, right? So this is a wireless sensor, and last 5 years, it's battery powered. Right? So typically, this is a typical customer journey. It's Baxter International. This is one of my customers. It's a major healthcare manufacturer. They manufacture all the IV bags next time in the world. They have like 75 to 100 plants around the world. So for this is a typical customer. If they want to try this, what they do is you can try 5 sensors. You can try 10 machines and 20 machines. Like I said, $100. If it doesn't work for you, you just walk away and nobody gets hurt. And you tried it, right? So this is all what technology is about. With Gen AI, that's what you do. So in a typical journey, is they will have a 90-day try. Let's say you said, Diane, or talk to your AWS folks and say, I want to try this. And then with my equipment. So it's a 90-day. You can pick your scale, 5, 20. I would say typical, a good size pilot is about 50 machines, right? Pick different 50 machines in your plant, and then you can try. Right? And then this particular example, I personally involved, it's like 90 days. They started with 20 machines. And then they decide, you know what, this actually works very well. Let's just do a proper pilot. Let's do a 200 equipment. So they pick 200 machines. Selectively select 234 machines. Once they select this, we did a 90-day, 3 months. And we went there and they did a 3-month trial. And then we detect 5 credible alarms using this link. These 5 alarms, we work with the operation leaders, and I said, how much is it worth to you? How many hours of downtime do you think you'll avoid based on these 5 incidents? 30, they say. Okay, and then you go forward, you move forward, say, how much is it worth, you think? How much revenue did you save, did avoid to lose? And how much labor you saved, what's a maintenance cost? We were able to save them about $405,000 for this $100 sensor for 90 days. So based on this kind of result, we present to the customer's leadership and C-level people, and they say, let's go for it. Let's roll out for globally to all our plants. And we signed a 20,000 sensor deal. We're on track right now. We're on year 3 now. We're on track to save them about $6 million with this little thing. And this is largely self-serve. Once you do that, you don't need additional resources. This is one of the examples. I want to just say that what this can do for operations. Very tangible examples. If you go visit any Amazon fulfillment center in Europe, we have rolled this out globally. We have hundreds of thousands of them in our fulfillment center to show you can see what this one do. I want to just use the last little bit of time to touch on what kind of a generative AI sort of initiative and program and service we offer for manufacturing. Again, this is very new, and the particular service for this kind of service is still in preview, but it's going to get launched very soon here. This is AWS's answer, using generative AI to help industrial customers. One of the use cases we see, right, using generative AI is basically large language model. So it's very good at predicting based on large body of knowledge base, right? For manufacturing, we have a lot of text, PDF files, service logs, machine manuals. You can go on for thousands, hundreds of pieces of equipment. Think about the documentation associated to all these equipment. And you think about that large base and how much maintenance they need, how to operate them, and how to maintain them, and you compare that to the staff and the potential people you have. This is one of the examples this is one of the statistics that recently published. There's estimated about 2.1 million manufacturing jobs right now is unfilled, right? And there's by 2020, it's going to be technology actually can solve these problems. This is a real quote we get from some of our real manufacturer. I have 30 years of veteran retiring. Most of the knowledge are in their head. I have about 20% attrition on shop floor. People just keep leaving and hiring. I have these problems, right? And how can I ramp up new worker skill very quickly? This is one of the real problems. One of my customers, actually I taught last week, is a very large pulp and paper manufacturer. One of their problem is they have this very expensive equipment. It's about $200,000 piece of equipment. They only have two people know how to operate this, do maintenance on this, and then they can be this is a 24/7 plant, right? So how do they make sure that this get properly maintained, lubricated, and then make sure they don't get down? Every hour this machine goes down, it costs them $50,000. $50,000 every hour is down. On average, 4 hours a day, 4 hours every month. It will just go down, and then they don't have enough workers. And sometimes there will just be empty shift. Nobody's looking after it because they don't have enough. This is a real issue, right? And then on top of that, this manufacturer have 300 plants. That's just one machine. Imagine they have tens of them, and in this operation, they also have 300 plants around the world. So you type it up, there's a lot of things. So generative AI, what we believe that this is just something that can help you. This is based on research and survey, right? If you use it right, generative AI have the capability to understand using natural language. It can help you to save about 25% of your work time, 2 hours per day. If you think about how many workers, 2 hours per day, if we can save everyone 2 hours per day, think about that potential productivity just by simply adopt something and use. So this is on that basis, we previewed, we have this service called Amazon Q Business. This is a work-based assistant built on top a very effective large language model on AWS. So when we look at the generative use cases, right? There's a lot of noise. There are a lot of kind of a different type of usage, but most of them are unconstrained. They're not unsecured, right? And then they're sort of error-driven, like hallucination and everything. There's no way of control that. So where we see enterprise actually gain some traction with generative AI is in a highly controlled, highly constrained environment with specified source, with high level of security, and then with a very specific type of use case. That's where you typically see generative AI will start gaining traction with enterprise. That's what we see. So we built this particular Amazon Q for business based on that premise. It's never built for consumers. We built this ground up for enterprise grade. It's for enterprise only, with the security, with the selection of the models, and it has 40 plus connectors for enterprise data source that you typically see. We have ServiceNow, we have Jira, we have Google Drive. If you pick, you can pick from Microsoft SharePoint, and Slack, your email. So your most common right now we haven't gonna go launch yet, general availability yet. But right now we have about 40 plus connectors to the very common enterprise source. Meaning that if you are a worker, you can potentially say, you can launch the service and you say, I want this group of people, let's say HR, let's say marketing. These are the group of people can only access to these kind of a data source at this level, and then you can specify it. And with the filter that you can specify with your administrator, you can say no foul language and nobody, you can specify, you can fine tune it as an administrator, and you can specify the source. And with your existing access control. So if today let's say you have 10,000 workers, every single person already have an access level to what kind of information internally you can access. Some people can see engineering documents. Some people cannot. Some people can see HR documents. Some people cannot. So you have this carefully designed data access structure already. This will just mirror that. You don't have to do anything. If you take this, it will mirror your access level for every single person, and you'll give it that. So you don't have to worry about what if something leak to somebody that's not supposed to see this. This will solve that problem because we build this from the ground up in this way. So you specify your source, and it's highly secure, and you can control, mirror your current access level. So this is basically this is our North Star when we designed this Q for business: accuracy, secure control, and limited resources, because you don't have resources. You don't want to do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, you have to think about it's not a one-time thing. Yeah. If you want to build it yourself, I can build a chatbot myself. Really? Are you prepared to maintain it? Are you prepared to constantly verify it? Right? This is not, it's going to be a lifestyle now from this point on. So there's a choice. If you are going to maintain a builder team and constantly looking at this, we have service for you, right? If you want to say, I just want somebody, I want to manage service out of box. So you basically want a laptop. You don't want to customize a desktop constantly. If that's what you want, this is what we build it for you, right? We want to do, so right now it's in preview. Very soon it's going to get GA'd. We want to build trust. We want to automate your task. We also want to protect your brand. So if you generate something, you say, we have a brand identity. We have rules. We have policies. This, you can specify. You can tell the model, do that, and it will do that. And then it will boost time to value. So this is a service that we want to supercharge everybody's productivity in your enterprise. So right now we can do search. We can within the environment, right? You can accelerate content creation for marketing. There's a list of use cases that we publish and how to do it, and suggestions. One of the key things about generative AI is just try it, because you cannot engage it. So might as well engage it and just try it, right? So and this something that we already built is help the technician, and this is one of the live use cases we're doing. So we have the technician to go do a diagnostic, and then they can just live ask questions. What is this machine? When did we buy this? When was the last time this thing was maintained? What was the problem? I have this problem. What do you think is the fix should be? So all these ones could very quickly accelerate the technician's the capability to do work, right? Or operate a very complex piece of equipment. So again, we want to, you can also, the easiest way to try it is to just go on Amazon AWS console, and then you try, say I want to try Amazon Q. Right now in preview, it doesn't really cost you that much, right? So then you can find I think the easiest way is find a very big 500 pages PDF. Just do that, and you can upload it. Say, I only want to summarize this particular file. Upload 10 of them, and then play with it. Have your own people play with it and see what you get, and see if you're happy with it, and give us feedback, right? So that's the kind of things that we recommend. So here's some sources that I mentioned earlier that what Q can pull. You can see a lot of familiar sources, connectors that you can pull directly from in the enterprise. Again, it's controlled, it's specified, and then all these things that you can pull them from, and then directly direct them to Q, and then you can start using generative AI and to summarize, to ask questions, and to produce value. That's it. That's it from me. And you can find me, if you scan it, you can find me on LinkedIn. I post stuff there all the time. I post the news all the time. So if you have any questions, you can also message me there. Said, I have a question about your product. Can you help me? And then ask some questions, or give me some, send me to the right people, and then I'm there for it. So thank you so much. I'm done. I don't know if anybody had questions. for me? Yes.
Yeah, so I'm interested in the sensor and basically the maintenance of it. So battery life, connecting infrastructure, like what is actually the communication protocol, and how many gateways, antennas do you need?
Sure. So very quickly, and I'm happy to answer more. If you, it's literally on the other side of the wall, right? It's the sensor itself is battery powered. It monitor, give you two key health indicators for rotational equipment: vibration and temperature. Its battery power lasts 5 years. So you just stick it on, and 5 years, $115 to be exact, before enterprise discount. And then, so this one, it needs a gateway. It comes with its own gateway. It's $140. Each gateway within 30 meters radius can cover about, in the industrial setting, can cover about 30 sensors, give or take. So the gateway is 140, I think, 115. And there's a software charge for like $4 per sensor. That just charges per sensor. It does not. We don't charge you for usage. We don't charge you for users license. So you can have as many people as you want to look at this, and it's as a phone app and a web app, and you can export the data out, and then just grab the data and do whatever you want with it. People inject it into Maximo, SAP, merge with other sensor data, build a dashboard. You can do a lot of things with it. Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Any other questions? No? Thank you.